Although it comes every year, moments like these tend to stick with us. Homecoming. Staff, families, alumni, students, a community of Bulls and a night to remember.
Go Bulls! Woo-hoo! Bulls!
You feel it on game day and see that everyone else does too. This is your family, fans for life, and future Bulls alike.
Undefeated, let's go, let's go! Woo! Let's go, Bull!
Capping off all homecoming traditions is the football game. And it's even better when your team is one of the best in the country. Who do you aspire to be? Where do you want to go? How do you get there? At the University of South Florida, we do it as a stampede.
And now he finds the open field.
Incoming 18-year-olds forging their path together, becoming men, not overnight, but over time.
Touchdown Bulls!
Under the national spotlight. A bond that resonates from teammates to the student body, to the alums, and throughout the Bay. The Bulls are not a one-time flash. We are here to stay. Because the word is out, your dreams can come true when you are Bull strong. Bull Strong, inside USF Football, is presented by USF Health, by Tampa General Hospital, by the Florida Lottery, by AT&T, your world delivered, and by Hooters, get your game on, the original wing joint since 1983. Driving along State Highway 29 in Florida, you pass the Florida Panther Wildlife Refuge. You're surrounded by rural Florida. Before you get to a one-stoplight town, Immokalee, Florida. But know this, the area produces about 90% of America's tomatoes. And it also produces some terrific football players. 4 of the sons of Immokalee are on the South Florida roster, including featured tailback Dearness Johnson and safety Jamon Thomas. Before they were Bulls, their stories began here.
All right, then. Yeah, they took down the basketball course and all. Right now, we in my neighborhood that I grew up at as a youngin'. You know, I grew up in this apartment right here. You can come this way. This is called the Projects. So we grew up out here. Yeah, so it was a rough neighborhood, you know, a lot of drugs dealing, you know, fights and stuff like that. But, you know, you had to choose one. You had to choose if you want to play football and make it out, or you get caught up in the street life. You know, we chose the football route. Just watching big-time players like Edna James and Brian Rowe, them, you know, do it and come out this same neighborhood and do it. So that was something that we always wanted to do, and just be like them boys, just go out there and play football and just, you know, try to be successful at it. Everybody out here was trying to keep their head on the right track. It felt great knowing that you know, I can be one of the person that come out of this place and make it far. We came for nothing, man.
My cousin Yoshi, you know, grew up with him, taught us the ropes. What's up, cuz?
What's up, Redwood?
Good.
What's up, cuz? D. Deuce, what's up? Deuce getting loose.
My name is Yoshi Smith. This is my fitness center, a custom gym, and this is what we've been getting. Man, we got a lot of boys from up there in South Florida from here. DJ Sinat, Jimmy Bays. You know, man, y'all know where it all started, man.
I would say he one of the few people that actually took the time to work with the athletes coming out, you know, like the big athletes, the big names. He was like really one of the main guys that really stepped in and, you know, really helped us out. When I was growing up in this community, I didn't have that big brother role model to be there for me, to pay for gym membership or just to, you know, I can talk to, vent to. And growing up, I wanted to be there for these guys. When I talk to my son, I tell my son, these are the guys you want to look up to because they did it the right way by developing, going through college, getting the education, which is first. They're his role models right now.
In the building now. Immaculate now.
Yo, Dina Sanat. Ooh. Dina Sanat. You talking about a kid who you know who always listened to me, who always very respectful, very kind, you know. I'm so proud of him. You know, his mother and his father are no longer here. And for him to be where he at today, coming from Immokalee, wow. Like, that's a dream come true, man. And Jimmy Bays, I actually call Jimmy Bays my little brother, man. You know, he been there for me, I've been there for him growing up through high school, having somebody to vent to. And he always been there, man, and still to this day, I call him up, he pick up 2 rings, so we still got that bond.
What all went down that Friday Night Lights. Had the whole city come out.
Man, football means everything to me. That's all I do is football. This is my brother right here. That's B, or Pop Warner.
He was very athletic at a young age. You know, at 2 and 3 years old, they used to get in the refrigerator and take the fruits and play football with him. You know, being raised on my aunt in the projects and poverty, you know, anything could have happened to them. They could have been, you know, on drugs right now. They could have, like, not finished school.
When they want to hang out with their friends, want to stay out all time of night, I'm like, no, you're not doing that. No, you're not doing that. As long as you stay up under this roof, you're not doing that. I want you to go to college.
The projects is not just the projects, it's home. They're just like brothers, they're family.
Yeah, so basically this is my grandma's house. Like whenever I come down to Immokalee from school, this is where I be at. This is my OG, my dad, the original, where I get everything from. Not the good looks though.
You know, in Immokalee, football is king. This town be a character. So when you come out of here, you know, you're either gonna have it or you're not. This is a character building town. And that's the talk of the town on Sundays and Mondays. You know, about what the kids did over the weekend on TV. You know, and that's the kind of love this town gives to the athletes down here. You know, it's like one big family.
That hit in the bowl game, in the Birmingham Bowl, made me really excited. That was a huge play, game changer.
And it is South Florida ball.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like that's my child.
Football, everything for Immokalee. And for them to be together, to carry that on to USF, even came more because now we out there still, the same family that rooted in Redwood.
But this is my 2-year-old son, Yerrin Johnson Jr. I go so hard, man, because of him, man.
I love the man that he became, and I love the father that he became, and that he's definitely a good role model for his son and every other child that's out there that didn't make it, but is on the road to success. Because when you look back on your life and you see where you came from and where God have you at now, that can encourage anybody. And that's what I tell them all the time. Always tell your story. Don't be afraid of where you come from. Don't be afraid of where God had you at and where he have you at now.
With the love and pride of their home communities supporting them, these young men have proven that hard work and belief can accomplish great things. From Immokalee to the University of South Florida, their story has only just begun.
You got one shot to give it all you got. Don't stop till you reach the top. Work hard, no punching clocks. Fast pace till I stay the shot. Glass house, no throwing rocks. Up and down like no shots. Breakthrough, no need to knock. Time to claim your spot. Stop and look, you got time to watch.
Go ball! Go ball!
The sweet noise of homecoming is great, especially with the South Florida Bulls riding the longest winning streak in school history. But it was time for quarterback Quentin Flowers to tune out all outside distractions. The focus for him and the rest of his teammates now fell solely on figuring out a way to beat the Cincinnati Bearcats to keep that streak going. Bulls head coach Charlie Strong, in his first year on the job, has put together a defense that ranks 15th in the country to go along with a USF record-setting offense. The combination, along with truly special teams, would make for a long night for Cincinnati and for a great homecoming.
Connected on 9 straight, this one from 39 on the right hash. On the way and good.
Kicker Emilio Nadelman's big night was just getting started, and so was the Bulls' defense. Larcenous as well as stingy.
Cincinnati pinned back again. Well, 2 guys on the edge have been making plays all year for USF. One is 41, Greg Reeves. The other is number 98, Mike Love. And who are the first 2 guys in the backfield? The 2 defensive ends. Mike Love is having a great year.
Cincinnati managed a tying field goal, but little did anyone know at that time they would not score again. But you knew the Bulls would. They came into the game averaging just under 45 points a game, the 5th highest scoring team in the nation.
Flowers, far side. Pass finally gets there, and that'll move the chains. Ahead to the 49-yard line. Tight end's got it. Mitchell Wilcox tripped up at the 20. Emilio Nadelman, who's perfect tonight, has made 10 in a row. Make it 11.
It was a bit of a slow start for the offense based on their own lofty standards, but the Bulls' defense was more than able to hold the fort until things started to gel.
Moore with a pocket, flings it deep. Boone is open, but it's out of bounds. Hoggins in coverage. He's been active.
Not just in coverage, but his special teams play helped protect the narrow lead as well.
And his kick is up. It has the distance. And it is no good. Wide to the left, Ronnie Hoggins got in.
This is what makes South Florida so hard to beat. While the end zone remained elusive for the Bulls, they have balance and can be great at all phases of the game. The defense was well entrenched, and special teams had a guy who was about to be named second-team midseason All-American by the Associated Press.
21-yard effort. Will split the pipes.
Emilio Nadelman continues to make his marks in the USF record book and had the Bulls up 9-3.
3rd and 14. They snap it. Moore wasn't looking, and he's going to be sacked way back at the 24.
It was the break the Bulls had been working and waiting for. They got good field position on the subsequent punt, and it took just 5 plays to move the ball 60 yards. A Quentin Flowers to Temi Uglaka hookup covered more than half of that. And Darius Tice from the 11 scored the game's first touchdown. Suddenly it was 16-3. The explosiveness of the Bulls was never more evident than in the final 2.5 minutes of the half. After the Tice touchdown, they struck again, this time on defense, with Augie Sanchez intercepting Hayden Moore and returning it 65 yards as time expired for a 23-3 halftime lead. Turnovers have been a huge part of South Florida's success. They now lead the country in interceptions. The homecoming party was officially in full swing at halftime, even if the Bearcats weren't in a particularly celebratory mood. There may have been a little relief at halftime, but no let-up in the second half. The Bulls continue to pride themselves on the way they play as well as the results, and a win would give Charlie Strong's group the longest active winning streak in the country.
But making plays now. Boone, spin move and spun down. Bruce Hector and that USF front four.
The large homecoming crowd was getting an eyeful of a team that is one of only 8 left unbeaten in all of FBS football. Quentin Flowers remained the general in charge of one of the most exciting offenses in the college game today.
It's been all Bulls. The dump off. Dillon.
The balanced Bulls offensive attack would have nearly an equal amount of yards rushing as they did passing, mixing and matching ball carriers and receivers on their way to their 23rd straight game, scoring 30 or more points.
Flowers, left side. And he got there for the touchdown. He only needed a couple of inches, and that's exactly what he got, Tom. That was close.
Flowers became just the second USF player to gain 3,000 career rushing yards. The other is now playing in the NFL for the Indianapolis Colts, Marlon Mack. For the most part, the outcome had been decided, but the Bulls pressed on, forcing at least 2 takeaways for the 6th straight game.
Moore lost the football, and USF recovers.
Jawan Brown with the strip sack and recovery, and the turnover gave Nadelman a chance for a 4th field goal. He's missed only 1 all year, and that one was blocked. A lot of things are going well for the Bulls right now, but there is a lot of football to be played yet before they reach their ultimate goal. But it was a great homecoming with smiles all around the Bay as the alumni departed into the night. The 33-3 win would move the Bulls up to 13th and 16th in the 2 major polls, their highest ranking in 9 years. Their 6-0 record would match the best start in program history. Yes, the Bulls continue to trend upward, and if they keep working hard, it doesn't have to stop. Bulls Strong, Inside USF Football, is presented by USF Health, by Tampa General Hospital, by the Florida Lottery, by AT&T, your world delivered, and by Hooters. Get your game on, the original wing joint since 1983.
Well, when you look at the plan to win, you got to play great defense, and our defense understands that, and our team understands that. So it's not like, we know what the offense is doing, but defensively we got to go out there and get stops, and we did. We made them miss they missed the 1 field goal, which could have tied up the game. But you have to, and then Augie makes a big play there right before half that kind of ignites everyone. But those are plays, and those are things that we have to do because you have to play great defense.
Sanchez with a couple of blockers. And there he goes, Sanchez to the end zone, touchdown.
Holding the team to 3 points. I think they had under 100 yards rushing, and that's big. If you can, limit someone's rush game, then that's big. Take away a component of the game.
It's great that we got to win, got to number 6-0. We can play much better than what we played. We got to execute. When you play a good football team, you're going to get beat. And that's what I just told our guys. When we go out there, you got to execute. You got to play with some energy. You got to play with some passion. Because we're a better football team what we showed tonight, and that's got to happen.
Just happy with a win. We're going to enjoy this win and get back tomorrow and go over everything we missed.
I always say you're only as good as your defensive line, and they've been playing ball. They've been playing real well, and you know, guys like Bruce and Deidre, and you know, Greg Reeves has you know, stepped up, and Mike Love had a game, you know, these last few games. So it's really good to see. You know, you go as they go, and they're going.
Spin move and spun down. Bruce Hector and that USF front four, wreaking havoc all evening long.
I think the next step is really just continuing to execute. You know, I think we have a goal sheet. You know, we come out every week, and you know, on Sunday we're probably gonna go out there and we're gonna preach. You know, what goals we had and how we met them, and how we played. And like Coach BJ always harps on, he always wants us to get better. No matter how good we played or no matter what we played, he's gonna continue to harp on the negatives and positives.
At the end of the day, like, anything can happen. You know, you're just taking one game at a time, and that's what this team been doing. That's what I love about it.
You know, we just take care of the game ahead of us. So one game at a time mentality. You start looking ahead of being a top 10 team or something like that, and you're gonna slip up, and you can't do that. You know, like I said. So what was tonight? 11? Mm-hmm. You gotta look forward to 12.
But obviously, there's got to be a sense of pride in having that longest win streak in the nation.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 100%. It's great to to be a part of it. And it shows that we've kind of turned this program around, and now you're kind of seeing the finished product as I said earlier. So it's good. We want to keep winning, but one game at a time.